Hey guys, it's Spacey Sims, and we are back with more Lover Pretend, continuing the common route on our way to Kazuma's route. Hanging out with Kazuma now. You know, we left with him because shit was getting heated. Anyway. Hey, I'm sorry. I thought I was helping, but he totally spun it around on me. That's just how he is. He's a very smooth talker. You ain't kidding. Whenever he teases me, it makes my blood boil. Well, look at that! Kazuma's eyes suddenly lit up and he ran off toward a nearby vending machine. Hey, you shouldn't run inside! What are you, his mother? Simmer down. The vending machine's out? Check it! Found some nice cold ice cream. Oh. Just when I was getting heated, too. Let's eat it together. Are you sure? Thanks. Yeah, I know you're working super hard every day between our grunt work and the script stuff, so it's my treat. Am I really working that hard? I think you've got it worse, actually. For real? How so? Look, he's so like... Look on his face. For real? Okay, Ryuji, simmer down. Well, the crew... the crew and even the actors treat you like a house pet. The look on his face. But also, it's like deep down inside, he's like, I want you to treat me like a house pet. You can become fast friends with anyone. I think it's one of your greatest strengths. Is that supposed to be a compliment? Of course it is. Could have said it better, though. I'm nobody's pet. Kazuma munched grumpily on his chocolate ice cream bar. That's the stuff. Nothing soothes an overworked brain like some sweet goodness. Times like these when he looks like he's truly enjoying himself. But... What's up? It would help that so fast there's chocolate all over your mouth. Where? Kazuma hurriedly tried to rub his lips clean with his hand. Oh my god, are we gonna get a CG with us, like, sexily wiping chocolate off his face? No, more to the right. The right? Over here? Your other right! Knew that was coming. The other side. Like here? Here, let me. Oh, hell yeah, we're getting a CG of this. Oh, yeah, we are. Oh, good, yeah, okay. Come on, I'm not your mom. Right here in the corner. Look at his face. Oh, I love it. I love it. Wait, Spacey. Stay still. I'll get it off for you. As if. It's fine. I'll do it myself. So you're okay with Sena making fun of you the moment you walk back in there? Ugh. No thanks. If you know better, then stop moving. It'll just take a second. There. You're really close. Kazuma's cheeks flushed in embarrassment at the touch of my fingers. Really, I can do this myself. Just back off. What did I just say? I've almost got it. And done. I smiled, proud to have shown that chocolate who was boss. As for Kazuma... For some reason, he was facing away from me, rubbing his palm against his forehead. I'm begging you, don't dish that kind of stuff out so freely. Huh? I love the fact that, like, she's doing that, and it's like, you know exactly what it's doing to him, but she has no clue. She's just totally clueless, and it's kind of adorable. I'm here for it. I don't know if it's going to turn into one of those, like, oh, God, it's so annoying how dumb she is. But, like, in this, not dumb so much as, like, she's totally freaking dense. But, like, right now it's kind of endearing and funny. And I just can't see them, you know what I mean? Like, there's always main characters who, you're like, they're dense, but it's done in such a bad way that you're like, ah, dear God, why are you so stupid? And in this, you're like, girl, come on, girl, come on, stop. And it's it's amusing. Just, I can't with words today, but anyway. I like the way she is. I like how she's just so completely dense. She has no idea what she's doing. She's just doing it innocently and has no clue, and it's kind of funny. You know, and I hope they keep with that instead of, like, going down the route of, like, where you get frustrated with how dense she is, you know? I don't see it going that way. I'm kind of like, on the train of, nah, it's just going to be kind of funny and enjoyable most of the time, so. It's fine because it's me, but you definitely can't do that to other guys. Especially that dude, Sena. Why are you shaking? Because you can't just do that to random guys. Seriously? He's such a worrywart. Kazuma was still trembling. Exasperated, I said. Alright, it depends. I feel like it depends is the wrong answer. I don't know where we are in the guide. Hold up. Okay, yeah, no, alright is definitely right. Well, that depends. It depends on who it is. That is, we are not suave enough to say that. Alright, I get it. I bet she doesn't get it, though. Do you really, really get it? It's fine, okay? You're the only guy I'm close enough with to do this kind of thing in the first place. Yeah? Well, good. I see. Only me, huh? Although I tried to ease his worries, his fretful expression returned. A few moments passed. Kazuma wore a complex expression, but he eventually spoke up to dispel the silence. Anyway, just be careful around other guys, got it? Oh, you're so overprotective. But if it makes you feel better, fine. At that moment... Well, what's this? A secret rendezvous in broad daylight? A rendezvous what? It's not what it looks like. Yeah, we're just on break. Completely normal break, and it's just about over. We better get back to work. It was 100% forced. Boy, howdy, do I love my job! I facepalmed at Kazuma's hammy acting, and we both went back to work. What in tarnation? Why, nobody has an accent like that. Nobody we date could ever have an accent like that. I wouldn't tolerate it, but some side characters should. Alright. A few days later... Alright, that's a wrap on today's lesson. You can all leave once you clean up. Mr. Hanai's lesson had ended much earlier than usual, so the candidates were thrilled. Everyone looked so happy. It's their first time off in a while. I think they'd all agree that Hanai's far too strict. Oh yeah? Wouldn't you call that tough love? Doesn't understand the balance between carrot and stick. For him, it sticks all day and maybe a carrot. I know what you mean. Like there's a 10% chance of getting a carrot. This isn't a weather forecast. Why would you jump to weather forecast when they say 10% chance of getting a carrot? There is like too many analogies going on right now. Having overheard our conversation, Professor Asagi looked up from perusing some documents with a smile. I'm sure it's supposed to be Asagi, but I can't say Professor Asagi. I probably can try that. It just doesn't flow out as naturally, so like, I realize I'm probably butchering it, but... I understand how you feel, but let's stop there. And that's Hanai's way of showing how much he cares. Oh, I know that. He's strict, but his guidance is spot on. Even I can tell that everybody's improving thanks to him. That's only because everyone he teaches is fully committed. And that includes you three as well. So you should take advantage of this pleasant surprise and go relax. I know how hard you've been working. Thank you! Oh my god! When we say things in unison, we do it in the Valley Girl voice. After enjoying the extra free time and having dinner, I returned to my room that evening. I was grappling with the assignment Professor Asagi had given me before. I'm gonna try, but I know I'm gonna fuck it up and say Asagi, but... Well, Usagi. I mean, that's rapid, but like, you know what I mean? Not Usagi, it's Usagi. So, Asagi could be okay. I just feel like the inflection's not in the right part, but... It just flows more naturally. I'm doing my best here, okay? Anyway, romantic scenes are my weakness. I've been told that at least 3 times by now. No matter how many times I rewrite it, this just doesn't feel right. I decided to head over to the lodge lobby for a change of pace. Oh, it's Professor Asagi? Just go with Asagi. It's just easier. Anyway, with Professor Asagi and Mr. Hanai, what are they doing by the TV? Oh, hey, girlie. Nice timing. Got a moment? Sure. We're about to have a film appreciation meeting so we can study something. Care to join us? You're going to watch a movie together?
Yeah, it's old, but this was the work that kick-started my career. You're sure to learn a thing or two if you watch it.
Oh, your debut? Did you know about this, Professor?
We're gonna have a film appreciation.
You're gonna watch a movie and hold hands? Like,
No, I haven't seen it before. I've always been pestering me to watch it for some time.
And yet you never take me up on it. That's why I brought a copy with me.
it's gotta be weird as an actor to watch yourself. Because, like, let's be real. I don't edit these. I don't edit these. I do edit my videos, but, like, I don't, like, go in and I make sure that, like, okay, it starts. And if I have to, like, edit parts together because I had to stop for some reason, whatever. But I don't sit there and watch the full thing. I don't have time for that. But also, like, I mean, you guys are troopers because I can't stand the sound of my own damn voice. So, like, you know what I mean? Like, because the voice I hear is, you know, it's the same. You know what it's like. The voice you hear is different than what everybody else hears. Because the way you hear, you know what I mean? It's like traveling from the inside or through your bones or I don't know the science behind it, but, like, it's not the same. So it's really weird when you hear what other people hear and you're like, nope, nope, nope. I wish people heard the voice that I hear. Because the voices and everything I do are so much better than the way they come out. I'm just saying. I think so anyway. But, like, so I do the beginning and then I make sure the end. And then after the video's processed, I check and make sure the beginning. I sometimes will skip through the middle, make sure, because, like, every once in a while, Adobe has a problem of just, as it's processing a video, just dropping the sound completely and then there's nothing. So, like, I'll always kind of spot check sometimes, you know, if it's been doing it a lot lately or whatever. But I always check the end to make sure it ends right. And okay, that's it. That's it. I'm not going to watch the whole hour back. Like, I listen to myself talk enough every day. But, like, so it's weird. I feel like it'd be weird if you were an actor to sit there and watch and be like, I'm looking at myself. I mean, I know in a movie it's different, you know, but it's still strange. You know what I mean? Like, even home movies, you're like, I don't want to, like, I guess it's different if you're watching a home movie from when you were, like, 10. You're like, oh, okay, it's you that, but, like, I wouldn't want to be in a video now and then be like, oh, let's watch this. Let's not. That's weird. I don't want to watch myself. I don't know. Just strange. So, like, props to the people who, like, film videos and, like, edit everything and, like, watch every second of it. I definitely don't do that. That's why when I do my sim stuff, it's like, we just record, like, the people who, like, I recorded for 2 hours and then I kind of edit things together. God, no, that would drive me crazy. Listening to me talk. Welcome, all the new people who are, like, now listening to me complain about myself. No, it's just weird. I don't know. Anyway.
I think it'll take us quite some time to get through it, though.
You're spending the night here anyway, right? Little sleepover won't kill you.
A sleepover?
Not a child anymore. We can have a sleepover, you and me. Oh, what? Oh, yeah, no, she's not that suave. Never mind.
Think of it as a school trip.
With a hearty laugh, Mr. Hanai gingerly took out a DVD and brushed his fingers over the cover. It'd be so much funnier if his voice was like, it's already been 20 years since then, huh? This really takes me back. Man, I wish we had gone for that with his voice. It would have been like, wait, what? No. No, that's not. That's not at all how I see this character, but... Haha, bro, dude. We are having a grand time. We need another character, so we got that voice. Anyway.
It's already been 20 years since then, huh? It really takes me back. I wouldn't be the man I am today if I hadn't met director Makino on that set.
Wait, what? An old film that Mr. Makino worked on? Oh my god, could it be?
Enough chit-chat! Let's do this!
The title printed on the box was indeed Pretend to Love. It was the very same film I'd watched over and over again. Okay. He was 20 then. But, like, she's like, wait, oh my god, your debut. I mean, I guess she didn't know it was his debut. But she seems more startled that he was in this movie at all, and it's like, you've watched this so many times you didn't know he was in it? Like, you should know he was in it. It's not like, oh, like with Riku, he was a child. This man was 20. You do change between 20 and 40, but not so much where you're totally unrecognizable, especially if you're an actor, unless you've had a lot of plastic surgery. But that usually happens after 40. That's when all the, celebrities where you're like, look, they're looking really good. Okay. Oh, God, what did you do? Because they hit like 60 or 70 and then they get plastic surgery and just look like cat people. Like, what the hell? I got a little bit of a facelift, sure, fine, but like, you just removed the face. I don't even know what's happening here. It's like terrifying. Anyway. Like, she should have known he was in it anyway. Maybe not that it was his first one, but. Knew it! Mr. Hanai excitedly inserted the disc into the DVD player.
Behold! It's a little dusty, but you're looking at a hidden gem that's aged like fine wine.
How's the script? Well, that's the only thing I'm interested in.
Relax, Seiichiro. This'll feel plenty familiar to you.
And why is that?
Well, the screenwriter for this film was a student of Eiichiro's father.
Your father was my mother's teacher! Oh my god, that's actually, you know what, that's funny, I like this. Your dad taught my mom, oh my god. And then we're gonna fall in love, just like my mom and your dad. Wait, oh god. Oh god, are you our brother? Somebody's our freaking brother in this. If we get out of this game with nobody actually being our brother out of all the men that we're looking at, I would be surprised at this point because this is bizarre. What?
Ain't that right, Eiichiro?
Yes, the title on the box did seem familiar. Nako Ahara. I feel like I might have heard the name before. Or maybe not.
Huh. Sounds like even you didn't know her.
No, wait, hang on. Rattled by the sudden revelation, I covered my mouth with my hands without thinking. The screenwriter studied under Professor Asagi's father? That means Professor Asagi's father was my mother's mentor, just like he's ours. And it'd be so cute if, like, the parallel, except for the fact that then he's your brother, who's also 12 years older than you, who you're gonna bone. That's weird. His route better not be like, I found my long-lost brother route. You cannot put it in the game like that and have me not date the man, okay? We're gonna have to get a complex and bone our brother, is all I'm saying. Even if his father hadn't been involved in the film, he might have had a deep connection to my mother.
What's wrong, little missy? Feeling sick?
Oh, no. You said Professor Asagi's father was the screenwriter's mentor?
Huh? Ah, you must have heard him. Oh, you must have heard of him since you want to be a screenwriter. His name's Seiji Asagi.
It feels like it's been eons since I've heard his name. And the younger generation probably isn't familiar with his work.
The mentor wore a distant expression. Are you adopted? That would be good. Maybe you're adopted. Maybe he's not your real dad. Seiji Asagi was a famous screenwriter. Seiji Asagi. Eiichiro's father. Sorry. He was a talented screenwriter who wrote many films and TV shows. He also frequently worked with the director Yuzu Makino. He died from an illness 13 years ago at the age of 43. Wouldn't that be so sad? That, like, if that was our dad who died? Oh, we'll never get to know our dad. We'll just have to fall in love with our brother to make up for it. People used to say that any film or TV show he touched was a guaranteed hit. He passed away when I was a child, so I'd only seen his work long after it was released. But he was a household name for any aspiring screenwriter. I couldn't overlook the fact that he was the father of my role model, Eiichiro Asagi. As for his writing style, it resonated with an almost explosive power. It's a little weird, though, that every single one of these boys, like, follows in their daddy's footsteps. Like, you know what I mean? You're like, this is, like, a little strange. Well, okay, except for... Sena was a producer, right? So slightly different. But, like, I'm just saying, a little too, like, I mean, that's nepotism for you. He wove in a delicious thread of tension that kept you alert, ready for a twist no matter how finely crafted the story was. He built his image around this reputation and his frequent collaboration with Yuzo Makino. Never knew Mom studied under such a great writer. I had no idea.
About what?
Oh, nothing.
That reminds me, didn't you write under a pen name at first so you wouldn't be in your dad's shadow?
As I did for a time. I chalk it up to a young man's pride.
Well, anyone would want to make a name for themselves without relying on someone else's clout. Sure, your old man would be proud.
I wonder about that. My father was a rather harsh critic when it came to screenwriting. I'm sure he's raining criticism down on me from on high.
Heh, you may be right about that.
That's sad. He's got dad issues just like we do. Ours is we don't know if our dad loved us and he might have run away on us, and yours is your dad was mean to you. Like, apparently Mr. Hanai had been on good terms with Mr. Makino and Seiji Asagi, who sometimes took him out for drinks. Awash with nostalgia, Mr. Hanai told us all sorts of old stories. But Master Asagi's father also be... Such thoughts swirled around and around in my head, and Mr. Hanai's spirited tales went in one ear and out the other. I love the fact that almost every single man in this game could potentially be our brother, and we're gonna date them. In the end, I made an excuse about being tired and turned down his offer to watch the film. Instead, I went outside for some fresh air. And again, if none of them turn out to be our brother, it's like, that's like a miracle. Because, like, literally every single one of, except for Kazuma, right? Every single one of them has the potential to be our brother. And we're like, nope, none of them actually are. You feel like because it's a lighter, fluffier kind of feeling game. I mean, there's like, where's my dad story underneath. But like, for most part, it seems like it's not a dramatic, angsty game, right? It's kind of a lighter, fluffier one, right? But like, with the weird looming shadow that, like, we're gonna fall in love with our brother. It's strange. Because, like, you did not come into this game thinking one of these men is my, like, what? This is checking off boxes. Okay, we've played so many games recently where it's like, that's my brother. I don't even care. Again, that I've fallen into the debauchery hole. We're at the bottom of the barrel at this point. That, like, there is a part of me that's like, one of them better be my brother and we need to date them. Because, like, you can't keep dangling hot brothers in front of me. You're giving me a complex. And I'm okay admitting that, like, now I'm a little bit of a degenerate now. We have taken a wild left turn from 7 years ago when I was like, how dare you put me in a cage, you bastard? And now I'm like, I'll get in the cage as long as you're my brother, though. No, not true. I'd still get in the cage. Depending on the love interest, okay? Depends on the love interest, but like, the trash ones, I'm here for it most of the time. Like, you know, and then, I'm at the point where I'm not 100% sure there is anything a game can throw at me that I'm gonna completely freaking hate and be angry about. There's love interests that I completely hate and I'm angry about and I want to light them on fire, but that's rare. You know, you got one every once in a while because, you know, you gotta have one, but like most of the scenarios you're like, yeah, maybe I'm not a fan of it, or you're like, hell yeah, I'm into it, but there's really not a lot that like just makes me want to rage quit and gets me angry and like, how dare they? Because, I mean, again, we were a degenerate now. So. But if none of them are our brother, it's like, that's probably safer. Because I joke, like, yeah, come on, one of them needs to be our brother. But when that happens, I might be a little icked out. I don't know. I don't know what's going to happen. Like, you know? But like, I'm going to be mad if they give us the brother angle. Like, Eiichiro's our brother and it's not a romance route. It's a getting to know our brother. That's going to make me mad. Don't do that. How dare you? He is going to be our brother and we're in love with him, or he's not our brother and we're in love with him. Either way, we got to be in love with him. That's why we're playing this game, you know? Anyway. In the end, I made an excuse about being tired and turned down his offer to watch the film. Instead, I went outside for some fresh air. I'm in no state to be around other people, because Professor Asagi's father was my mother's mentor. I can't believe it. If they were like master and apprentice, they might have been pretty close, but he wasn't involved in that film, right? But no, even so, she could have been way closer to him than to the director or an actor. And if what I'm thinking is true, then that means Professor Asagi would be my brother. I can't think straight. I was starting to get a headache from the bomb they dropped on me. Dazed and confused, I went back to my room. Yeah, because I mean, that would never would have come up with Asagi, because he doesn't know your mother was a screenwriter, right? He has no idea who she is. And there's no way, I mean, you knew who his father was, right? But you didn't know that his father was your mother's mentor. And you didn't know his father had anything to do with that film because it wasn't there, obviously. You know what I mean? Like, he would have had something as in helping her, but his name wouldn't have been in the credits. And you wouldn't have been like, oh, so your father must have tons of, like, mentees. Tell me all their names. You know what I mean? That never would have come up in conversation, so. The next day, I'm just saying, because sometimes games have a habit to do things and you're like, why would that never have come up in conversation? Like, no, that never, but like this one makes sense that it never would have. You know what I mean? As opposed to, oh yeah, we talked about it. Really? That's a random thing to have talked about. Oh, the next day, the contents of last night's conversation continued to nag at my thoughts. Professor Asaki's father is my. Now, nothing's set in stone yet, but if it is true, how can I face him? Okay, you know what's going to be the worst part? Going through this whole game and being like, well, obviously Kazuma's not my brother, then Makino's not my brother, then Seina's not my brother, then Riku's not my brother, then, oh no! And then just being on pins and needles for Ichiro's route and then finding out he's my brother. And I can't date him. I'm going to be so mad if the game pulls that shit on me again. Anyway. Even if it is true, oh, but if it is true, how can I face him?
Hey, Spacey!
What is it, Kazuma? Why are you yelling?
What's wrong? I've been calling your name over and over. Something happened.
Seeing the concern written all over his face, I shook my head. It's nothing. I'm fine. Did you need something?
Want to let you know that I don't see the stepladder or the shotgun mic they asked for. Oh, asked you for. Oh, just want to let you know that I don't see the stepladder or the shotgun mic they asked you for.
Oh, sorry. I'll run to the warehouse and...
Miss Oida, a moment, please.
Yeah, it's Professor Asagi. What should I do? I'm trying not to let it get to me, but I can't stop thinking about it. I can't even look him in the eye. Can I help you?
You can. I need you to make enough copies of page 10 for all the candidates.
All right, I'll get right on it. I grabbed the script from my mentor and practically fled the room.
What's up with her today?
He's like, I wonder. I completed the task without incident. However, the matter with Professor Asagi continued to surface in my thoughts. Every time I catch sight of him, I end up staring. At one point, I was sighing when Makino called out to me. Hey, Miss Ueda, the sports drinks for the candidates that Hanai asked for. Oh, right. I'm so sorry. They're in the fridge. I'll go get them now. I broke into a panicked sprint. In my fluster, I tripped over my own feet and dropped the stack of papers I was carrying, causing all the candidates to stop and stare. I'm so sorry. I'll clean that up.
Seriously, are you okay? Flew all the way over there.
Papers are a mess now, too. Let's put them back in order. Sorry.
Okay, that's all of them. Makino and I got this. You should go and take care of your other work.
All right, thank you.
Miss Oida, I actually need those script copies now. Could you give them to me?
Yes, of course. Here you go. When I handed the copies to Professor Asagi, he frowned. What are these? Huh? I copied the scripts up to page 10 like you asked.
I asked you to make a copy of page 10 for each candidate, not to copy the script up to page 10.
I'm so sorry. I'll fix it right now. Up to page 10, so not including page 10.
No, I'll just leave it be. We're short on time. I'll talk to Hanai about continuing lessons without them. Your focus appears to be elsewhere today, Miss Ueda.
Oh, he's disappointed in me. noticed.
Leave the rest of your tasks to the other assistants. Take some time to collect yourself. Can you do that?
Yes. Said I'm too busy focusing on something else. Well, he's right. I've made mistake after mistake because I'm so distracted. Our whole lesson plan is ruined because of me. I just can't get my thoughts in order. I hung my head, wallowing in self-pity. Eventually it was break time and the tired-looking candidates began filing out of the room. They're working hard too. I need to concentrate. Just then... Oh. Makino made eye contact with me for a brief moment before awkwardly looking away. He must be upset with me because he had to take over my responsibilities. I felt the urge to sigh again and stifled it. I have to get it together. I don't have the time to keep fixing my mistakes. I'm not going to cause any more trouble for the candidates or my coworkers. Oh, right! It'll be okay. I just need to calm down and go back to business as usual. I'll just do what I can for now. Right now I should go to the cafeteria, go to the meeting room, go to the lodge, go to the clearing. Let's see, boyfriend 1, boyfriend 2, boyfriend 3, or boyfriend 4. We go to the cafeteria, so I wonder if the meeting room... I mean, you're going to meet a different guy depending on where you go. But we go to the cafeteria, so I'm assuming that's where Kazuma is. About time to start preparing for dinner. I'll go help. I'm not on duty today, but they might be short-handed. Once I'd convinced myself, I set off for the cafeteria. I think Kazuma being the first route is probably good, because, like, you know what I mean? Like, you know he's not your brother. And then the tension of, like, one of the other men could be my brother is saved for later. Plus, he's your childhood friend, so if you think about it in this scenario when you're going through this, he's the most likely person that you're going to talk to about the things going on, and it does seem kind of like a natural progression and a good natural first route to start with your childhood friend type of a thing. For now, I'll try to clear my mind and focus on one task at a time. Then I can tackle the whole Professor Asagi thing more calmly. However, just as I turned a corner... Oops! I'm so sorry!
Yeah, my bet. Oh, it's you, Spacey.
Hi, Kazuma. I think it's so funny that we know it's Kazuma, but they put it in gray like we don't know who it is.
You may want to watch where you're going. If I'd been carrying something, we could have gotten hurt.
Sorry.
You know, you really seem out of it today. Hey, come on, what happened? You're seriously off.
No, I'm not. It's nothing, really.
Sure doesn't look like nothing.
Never mind that. What about your work? They'll get mad at you for
Just finished, actually. Free as a bird now.
There's no escape. I saw it in Kazuma's eyes and quickly tried to shrink away from them.
Something happened. It's written all over your face. Just talk to me. Or what, is it something you can't tell me about?
No, It's not that I don't trust Kazuma, but I'm afraid to say it aloud as if that would make it come true. I hung my head, but Kazuma continued to stare at me without saying another word. I really do love his little sad face. His sad face is my favorite. Like, once he's made up his mind, he won't budge. He's genuinely worried about me. Okay, I'll explain. I gave him the gist of what I discovered about Professor Asagi's father last night.
For real? For real? Okay, Ryuji. Now he's Ryuji. Okay.
I don't have any proof yet, though. It doesn't seem like he was directly involved with the film either. Still, if they had an apprenticeship sort of relationship, they were almost certainly close.
Huh. Gotcha. He was about Mr. Asagi's dad. So that's why you've been like that all day, Spacey. Huh. I get it now.
Hey, stop with all the sighing. Get me going, too.
No, sorry. But yeah, it must be way too awkward to keep working in front of him like normal.
Kazuma paused for a moment to contemplate.
Yeah, no way around it. Just head back to the lodge for today. I'll make sure everybody gets the memo.
What?
Don't you what me? Everyone can see how off your game you are.
I doubt that. Anyway, I'm perfectly calm now, so I'll be fine. Really.
Fine, she says.
Tell the truth, I'd be lying if I said I was completely okay. But I need to make it seem like I am. I bit my lip and glared at Kazuma, who had doubt written all over his face. Hear that, world? I'm fine! F-I-N-E! I am not fine! Breaks down. Ooh! Save the game? Sure. Save over our, saving over all the same. Okay. Pretend time. Alright. Alright, I got the answers here. Let's scroll them. Pretend time. Mission. Talk. Oh, yeah. Talk.
Mission. Talk Kazuma out of worrying about you. You say you're fine, but it doesn't look that way to me whatsoever. Remember, you were so spaced out that you practically tackled me coming around the corner.
No, I wasn't spacing out. I was just thinking.
Uh-huh. Thinking about Mr. Asagi, right? Then you slipped up and kept making more work for other people because of it. Am I wrong?
Ugh, he's right, but... Yes, Kazuma, sir, you're absolutely right. Can you find it in your generous heart to give me the day off?
Not.
Who can take a day off to sort out their feelings when there's still so much work to be done? If I run away from this, I feel like there's no going back. So... No, I was thinking about something completely unrelated.
Oh, and what would that be?
I need to think of an unrelated topic that'll put him at ease. Which would be... What were you thinking about? Dinner! The script. I was thinking about dinner. Script is related. I was thinking about dinner.
Dinner?
Yeah, I was gonna go help prep dinner when I remembered that today's dessert is mizu manju. You know, the clear one with the red bean filling? Besides, I'm so hungry. Kazuma seemed slightly put off by my desperate reply.
But you still wouldn't space out like that just because...
Oh my god, my stomach actually growled. I slapped my hands over my belly in embarrassment, and Kazuma took the opportunity to study the ceiling.
Oh, yeah. That just means you're healthy, Spacey. Can't fight on an empty stomach.
Now he's worried about me for a different reason. Almost like he feels sorry for me.
After hearing that, I gotta say I believe you. I guess you wouldn't start bumping into things if you were... I guess you would start bumping into things if you were that hungry.
I'm regretting my... Oh, I am regretting my life... I am! Not I'm regretting, but I am regretting my life choices. If you say, I'm regretting my life choices, it's one thing, but I am regretting my life choices, or I am regretting my life choices. This just comes out different. Regardless, my empty stomach had kind of helped me out.
But now that you've explained things, I get why you've been avoiding him.
Does it really look like I'm avoiding him?
Yeah, it's super weird. You never let him finish talking and you freeze up whenever he does just about anything. On any other day, you'd be going over to him first.
But that's because I'm his assistant. It's normal.
You're not acting normal now, are you?
Ugh.
I won't make you look bad. I'll just tell him you caught a cold and needed a break. You can keep saying you're fine, but you're gonna flip out the second you see Mr. Asagi's face, right? He's gonna notice that, and if he asks you what's wrong, are you gonna run away like you did earlier?
I might be right. When I see Professor Asagi's face, all I want to do is escape. If that happened, the next time you see Professor Asagi, I want Kazuma's help. I'll try to stay calm. I want Kazuma's help. If I really can't deal with it, like you say, then I'm gonna need your help.
Huh?
I've got it together for the most part. I think I can do my job with him around. But you're right. I'm feeling confused right now. So if it looks like I can't handle it, I want you to back me up, Kazuma. Sorry, I know it doesn't make much sense, and I'm being really selfish right now. Even so, you're the only one I can count on, and you're the only other person who knows the truth.
Spacey...
Kazuma blinked a few times, eyes wide, and sucked in a breath. What's so funny?
Oh man, that makes me real happy to hear.
Why is that?
You haven't been relying on me at all lately. It's a good thing, of course, but it makes me feel a little lonely.
Kazuma thumped his chest.
You can count on me. I had your back from the very beginning.
Thanks. Felt a little lighter thanks to Kazuma's support.
Well, I'm glad we're talking about things now. Frankly, I don't think you're gonna be okay at all. You're clearly putting too much pressure on yourself.
You're still going on about that? I said I'll be fine. He doesn't look like he trusts me at all. In order to convince my overprotective friend, I had to. How will you convince Kazuma not to worry? Go see Asagi now. Give him a big smile. Go see Asagi now. All right, if you still don't believe me, I'll go see Professor Asagi right now. Is that good enough for you?
Huh? Wait, that's not what I meant.
You just need to see that I can keep my head on straight around him, right?
Whoa, whoa, whoa.
I turned on my heel to leave, prompting Kazuma to leap in front of me in alarm.
I get it. I understand how you feel.
Really?
Yeah, really. Damn, you're stubborn.
It made me happy that Kazuma was worried about me. But being too overprotective could be toxic. Being too overprotective could be toxic, and we hate the super overprotective friend types. This is not bad. Like, I'm only thinking about it because she said, like, being too overprotective is toxic, and it's, like, true. And you know what, though? Now that I'm thinking, like, I don't think anything he's doing is too overprotective or anything. That's the type of character I can't stand. The one who's like, oh, no, Spacey, don't touch the door. You might electrocute yourself. I'll open it. Like, you know, oh, static electricity. If you touch the doorknob and you get a little bit of a shock, you might die. Oh, no, let me carry you. You might hurt your ankle walking. Like, I'm not made out of goddamn glass. For God's sake, oh, God, they treat you more like you're made out of paper mache. Like, Jesus Christ, simmer down. And it's so annoying and I hate it. You know what I mean? This, the way he's being, is like, well, I don't try, you know, it's not bad. You know, it's perfectly fine. Like, I don't see an issue with it. It's not like glaring red flags where I want to punch him in the face and be like, simmer down, buddy. It's like, no, he's probably right. We probably can't handle ourselves.
Well, now that we've talked about it, you ain't looking so pale anymore. I swear you looked white as a ghost back there.
Hey, that's mean.
True, though. That's why I told you to take a break. Your bestie's just trying to pitch you some love and advice.
Thanks, I guess. I reluctantly thanked my best friend, who chuckled yet again.
Alright, stop looking at me like that. I know you won't back down this time, so I got your back. Don't push yourself so hard.
Wow, do you mean that?
Why wouldn't I? I'm afraid of what'll happen if you go through this alone.
Thank you so much, Kazuma.
Sure thing.
Kazuma's words were so reassuring I couldn't help the sunny smile that played on my lips.
Results complete! 100%!
Woo! You're so good at pretend times. Obviously, because I'm using a guide, but like...
Yeah. I think anyone would be on edge in your situation. You should count on your friends when things get tough. Nothing to be ashamed of.
I suppose you're right.
Besides, your best friend here is competent and, dare I say, handsome. I can handle anything you throw at me.
Competent maybe, but handsome? I don't know about that. I naturally began to smile along with Kazuma's boisterous laughter. Thanks, Kazuma. I'm glad I talked to you.
Alright, sweet. Now let's go help him get ready for dinner.
Okay. I followed Kazuma back into the hall. My worries haven't vanished into thin air, of course. But with Kazuma by my side, I think I'll be okay. A few days later, it had been nearly a week since the audition camp began. The director had decided to swing by today, which was pretty unusual. He'd been here once before on the second day, but the atmosphere was much more tense with him around. Everyone took their job seriously, even when he was absent, of course, but now there was an electricity in the air.
So, Hanai, how are the candidates faring? They're all interesting people with their own quirks and personalities. But right now, I'd say two in particular stand out from the pack.
Let me guess.
Nishijima boy, right? His acting's clearly on a different level.
I like how he says boy. I mean, he's only a few years younger than you, sweetie. Stop acting like my grandpa.
Even I can tell he's awesome. Shijima's acting really draws you in, and he's an amazing guy all around.
And the crew finds that he's obedient and easy to work with, and they hold him in high regard.
I see. From the footage I've reviewed, he seems to anticipate being filmed at any given time, and he reacts accordingly. I continue the selection process as planned. I'd like you to implement more hands-on lessons as well. Alright, what'll you be doing? I have a meeting with our sponsor, so I need to head back to the city shortly. I plan to come by again, but I'll probably just be poking my head in here and there until the last day.
You must be very busy. Thank you for all your hard work.
And you as well. Sure, it's tough on the crew, but I'm counting on you.
Was that his voice? I don't know, whatever. Mr. Makino made a swift exit, and I breathed a sigh of relief. I'm getting used to interacting with the director, but it still makes me so nervous. He must have a lot of meetings to attend to if he's that busy.
Executive jobs are pretty much like that. All like that at this stage. The world we actors know little about.
He's working hard to ensure the film gets the resources required for it to exist in the first place.
Can't read that whole sentence. God damn, that was hard. In the accent, you know what I mean? Like I was expecting a pause somewhere, but no.
Even after we're done shooting, getting the movie to the silver screen is a whole other ballgame.
Directors and producers create the stage for us to work on.
There's a lot more to making a movie than just finding the right people, isn't there?
I can barely wrap my head around all that stuff. But when I picture him sweating away in the shadows on our behalf, he seems so cool.
Harumi's over there.
We're only halfway through the camp, so let's see what else the candidates can show us.
Agreed. Many of them have potential, and some may surprise us in the end.
I snuck a peek at my mentor as he spoke. Ever since I learned about Professor Asagi's father at the movie watch-along, I'd allowed myself to become completely scatterbrained. All the mistakes I'd made here at work were still fresh in my mind. Thanks to the people around me, I'd finally managed to compose myself. On the outside, at least.
That's all for today's meeting, then. Don't just let up because we're halfway through. Especially my 3 Tasketeers.
Aye, Captain. We didn't say that, but Mr. Hanai and the others left the room, chatting with one another. Just as I walked toward the door, however, my mentor called out to me.
Oh, Miss Ueda, might I have a moment of your time?
Sorry, I have some other work to do.
Huh, I see. Well, I can wait, so I'll ask you again later.
My apologies. Now, if you'll excuse me. That startled me. I leaned against a wall and took some deep breaths, making sure to stay quiet so the guys wouldn't notice. It's funny because, like, then you think about this is the way his route's gonna go to start, and it's like, we're giving him the impression that we might have a crush on him. I'm just saying, you know? Oh my god, I can't be around him, and he makes me nervous. I thought I was calm enough to talk to him normally again. I need to do something about my fight or flight kicking in when I'm alone with him. Yeah, well, the flight's probably better than the fight, and he's like, Miss Ueda, and you're like, punch him in the face. Sorry, I've been trying to avoid flight, and this time I got in the fight, I guess. Later that night, the nighttime cleaning's all done. Now to go back to my room and keep working on the script. I turned into the hall on my way back to my room when I caught sight of someone. A familiar figure was coming toward me. Siggy? Kazuma. Oh. I was like, it could be Kazuma, because we're trying to get to his route, but yeah. This makes more sense.
Good evening, Miss Ueda.
Oh, good evening, Professor. You're fine. Nothing to worry about. Just stay calm. I dipped my head in greeting and quickly made to leave.
Wait, please.
Not again.
Would you mind if we talked? And there's something I want to ask you. And something I want to tell you.
Wants to tell me something? I timidly looked up at my mentor, who nodded. Knows. He gestured to a chair in the lobby. I sat down, trying to still my thrumming heart. After checking to make sure no one else was around, he slowly began to speak.
No need to be so wary. I'm not here to scold you.
Okay.
Wasn't sure whether to watch you a little longer, but I don't think it'd be good for either of us to drag this out.
Noticed, hasn't he?
You've been avoiding me lately, right?
Is
there a particular reason?
Why can't you face me? My mentor looked at me with a bitter smile. Oh. I know we're not romancing him yet, but, like, he's sad about it. He's like, why can't you look at me anymore? Oh, we are hurting his feelings.
Something's been bothering you ever since we got together to watch that film. You've been acting strange since that day. Something set you off back then. As your instructor and the one who requested you for this job, I'm afraid I must insist. Would you please tell me what's wrong?
I contemplated how best to answer my mentor's question, but I couldn't bring myself to do it. It's nothing, really. If you think I'm avoiding you, it's only because I happen to be leaving at the same time. I'm sorry if that made you uncomfortable. Professor Asagi sighed again and rested his chin on his interlaced fingers. Oh, that I want a CG of. Neither of us was willing to back down. Our stalemate went on for a bit until it was Professor Asagi who broke the silence.
Hanako Ahara.
What? I love the fact that this man is just so in tune with shit that he just says her name. We're just like, yeah, no, I'm totally fine. And he says her name, and we're like, what? What? No, I'm fine. And he's like, you look like a deer in headlights, girl. No, you're not. Like, he just knows. You know, well, as he's sitting there staring at us with his head in his hand, just sitting there. He's looking and he's reading us and he's trying, and his brain is just going and like, what can set her off from that day, you know? My head snapped up before I could stop myself. When our eyes locked, he smiled gently.
You're finally looking me in the eye. I remembered her when I was watching the credits roll. Hanako Ahara was my father's disciple, and her real surname was Ueda.
Oh.
When I thought back on it, I realized you've been acting strangely ever since you heard about her. I'll ask you one more time. Let's not complicate this any further. If it's something you can talk to me about, I may be able to help you solve it.
Words are gentle, but he's leaving me no way out. I pressed my lips tight, feeling the suspense. Did it again, harder, willing everything to stay locked inside. Then I set it free. Actually, I want to know who my father is. I slowly up to him about myself. As he mentioned, my mother was a screenwriter. She passed away when I was a child. She and my grandmother raised me, and I grew up without knowing my father. Before my grandmother passed away, she told me that my father had most likely worked on Pretend to Love. The whole reason I decided to pursue screenwriting was to learn who my father was. And if your father took my mom under his wing, they might have been close. Closer than she would have been with any other member of the crew. My mom passed away without telling me a thing. All I've had to go on is my grandma's suspicion. She must have gotten pregnant by someone on the set. There weren't any other men in her life at the time. It's gonna be some random dude. If your father was my mother's mentor, he might have helped her write the film. There's a connection.
I see. So that's what this was about. I might share the same father, which would make us siblings.
And he's over there like, oh, then my crush on you would be weird, right? My mentor sighed deeply, his hands still folded tight.
The relationship between a mentor and mentee is indeed a strong one, and they'd have worked side by side often.
Right, he's like,
and I could understand the mentor falling in love with his mentee.
Yeah, see, wait, what? Inside, he's thinking it.
However, my father had nothing to do with that film.
Huh?
When Pretend to Love was being filmed and even broadcast in Japan, he wasn't in the country.
But even if he wasn't involved, my mom might have... I trailed off, unable to continue.
My father was the sort of man who wouldn't associate himself with a script unless he saw it with his own two eyes. I compared the dates myself, actually. The drama was still in production. He was on a solo trip in Europe. I believe he was gone for about 2 years. Considering your age, he just wasn't in Japan at the right time.
It sounds on you with the accent. Obviously, we're never in Japan. I mean,
if memory serves, he'd already severed any such ties by the time he left the country. That may have been why your mother had this opportunity to begin with. It was her chance to strike out on her own.
And born from that,
film. By the time he returned to Japan, the movie had already finished airing. That's the honest truth as far as I can tell.
Okay, so he's definitely not our brother, so good for us. There we go, 1 down. So now 2 out of the 5 love interests are not our brother. Okay, cool. Still have 60% chance. So that's what happened. In other words, your father and my mother basically had no contact at the time.
I believe that to be the case.
After hearing his dispassionate explanation, I felt all the strength leave my body. Professor Asagi's father had nothing to do with the film. He wasn't even in Japan at the time. He wouldn't have met with Mom while she was working in Japan. If he isn't my father, then Professor Asagi isn't my brother either. I was awash with relief at the revelation that Professor Asagi and I weren't related after all. At the same time, my hopes of learning something about my father had been dashed in an instant. Oh, I see. I can't believe how rude I've been to you, all because of some baseless suspicions. Words can't express how sorry I am. My voice trembled, but I somehow managed to keep myself together as I apologized to my mentor and his father. Mr. Asagi released his hands at last and smiled ruefully.
You may have mixed feelings about this suggestion, but if you're intent on identifying your father, then I think there's still hope.
I mean, I should keep looking into the other crew members?
That film was the work of director Makino. By some twist of fate, several other people connected to it are here at this camp.
Like Nishijima and Sena. There's also the director himself. Even Hanai has ties to it. Hanai's your dad. My god. Oh my god. He was like 20, but that means nothing. He might have gone for a slightly older woman. I'm just saying. Oh my god. Somebody else was probably saying that at some point, like, we're like, Makino's our dad, and then it's like, well, he's got kids. And then, but she just said, even Hanai has ties to it. Oh my god. I don't know why I didn't think of that. Like, oh. And, oh my god! That would explain why when he was talking about the movie and he was like, oh yeah, she was your dad's student, right? How would he know that? How would he know that unless they had a romantic relation? Alright, Hanai is my dad is our theory now. Oh my god, that's like the weirdest thing ever. It seems so bizarre. Just being like, Hanai's our dad. Are you? That is... Just... in the credits, in the opening credits, there's 3 dudes. Or at least there were 3 people in that. So there's somebody else with a sprite that we haven't met yet. Potential to be our dad. But I'm just saying now, I mean, my chips are in the Hanai basket over here. Like, that's gonna be so funny. Oh my god, I didn't even think about that. I wasn't even thinking about him at all. Because, like, they introduce him and, like, whatever, and then you don't find out until, like, now, basically, that he had anything to do with the film. And it just, I mean, maybe somebody else, when that part came up earlier, was like, But I did not put pieces together, like... That 2 and 2 were floating around, bouncing off each other in my head, and they were not making a math equation until now. Oh my god.
So, if you want to know the truth, it may not be a bad idea to go out of your way to speak with them and learn more about them.
He has a point. I've been trying not to pry too deeply and risk offending someone, but I'm also not learning what I really want to know. You're right.
Anyway, I'm glad we're finally able to talk. If we'd allowed that misunderstanding to persist, it would have affected our work.
Truly sorry, Professor. I allowed my imagination to run wild with theories.
No, I think doubts are only natural for someone in your position. But going forward, I'd like you to consult me if anything else happens, whether it be about your father or your screenwriting. Obviously, I'd be much happier to discuss your writing.
Thank you so much. He's like, I don't want to discuss who your daddy is. Because you and me. A laugh easily bubbled out of me at my mentor's little joke. I guess I'm back to square one, as disappointing as that is. Still, Professor Asagi's father wasn't my father, and my mentor wasn't my brother. Well, that's good for dating him later. You know, maybe I've finally taken a step forward. I'd probably sleep well tonight now that the weight on my shoulders had lifted. Oh, Hanai is so our fucking daddy. Oh my god. Is Hanai oh my god. Guys! Did we solve it in... Is this the 5th part? I don't even know where we are at this point, but like... Episode 3! We're gonna start that next time, so... But yeah,
Made it to the halfway mark. Anyway. Well, that's what she's saying. I don't know if that's the halfway mark of the game. I doubt it. Do you know what I mean? Maybe the halfway mark of the common route, but I'm assuming she means the camp. I will see you guys next time. Remember to give the video a big thumbs up and subscribe to see more.